Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the 22nd Annual Family Cafe. Once again, it is Jeremy and Joe. How's it going this morning, Joe?
It's going good, man. How are you? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you. It is Saturday, the second of our two Saturdays here in the 22nd Annual Family Cafe. And on this particular day, we got two roundtable sessions lined up for you. Normally at the in-person conference, the roundtables, we have a whole bunch of them going on different topics. Many are sort of disability specific. And that's what we're doing a online version of here today.
Yes.
So which two subjects we are addressing in today's roundtable?
Today we have autism and CP, 11 and 2.
Right. So this morning's roundtable is going to be on autism. Now I'm going to warn you ahead of time that this one, due to a scheduling conflict, is pre-recorded. However, we definitely encourage you to connect with each other and with our presenters in the comment section under the Facebook video. So, we're all using the internet to get in touch with each other and share our experiences during this pandemic. So this is an opportunity to do that in this conversation about autism here as part of the 22nd Annual Family Cafe.
I'm sure they'll be watching it as well and can also reply back to some of the comments.
Absolutely.
As will we.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, let's go ahead and hand it over to Cindy and Maureen.
Hi, everyone. We want to welcome to the virtual Autism Roundtable. This is going to be in English and Spanish, so we just want to say that it's our pleasure to host once again this interactive breakout session in English and Spanish. Bienvenido a la mesa redonda de autismo virtual. Es un placer organizar una vez más esta sesión interactiva en inglés y en español. You may ask yourself, what is a roundtable? Roundtable conversation is where parents have the opportunity to network with other parents, caregivers, sharing valuable experiences, resources, guidance, support, while also having the opportunity to make new friends. Usted puede decir qué es lo que es una mesa redonda. Durante la mesa redonda, los padres tienen la oportunidad de establecer contactos con otros padres, cuidadores, compartir experiencias valiosas, recursos, orientación, apoyo y al mismo tiempo tener la oportunidad de hacer nuevos amigos. My name is Cindy. I am a parent of two amazing sons. My journey having a special needs son began with my youngest, Jonathan. He happened to be under the spectrum of autism. He taught me to walk a path of constant learning, teaching me the most fundamental words that became a daily exercise in our lives: hope, inspiration, motivation, persistence, acceptance, faith, and love beyond love. Engraved in my heart, Mom, never give up. We're here today to encourage you to never give up. Your journey is unique, and you will learn to wear many hats to ensure that your child receives all the adequate services in all areas. No matter how difficult it gets, fill yourself with hope and courage. Your journey will have ups and downs, tears and laughter, but it will become an amazing story. Mi nombre es Cindy. Soy un padre de dos hijos excepcionales. Mi historia comienza con el menor Jonathan, que nació con necesidades especiales y estaba bajo del espectro de autismo. Él me enseñó a caminar un camino de constante aprendizaje, enseñándome las palabras más fundamentales que llegaron a ser parte de nuestro cada día: la esperanza, inspiración, motivación, persistencia, aceptación, fe y amor más allá del amor. Estamos aquí hoy día para inspirar a todos ustedes, ¿ok? Cuando el camino se vea muy difícil, no se den por vencido. Tendrán altos y bajos. Habrá lágrimas, sonrisas, pero su historia tendrá un final asombroso. I would like to take the opportunity to introduce my co-host, a wonderful, amazing mom, as well as a proactive advocate. Me gustaría introducir a mi coanfitrión, una maravillosa mamá y defensora proactiva, Maureen.
Sorry, I had mute on. Hi, everybody. Cindy, what you said was beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing so much. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today. We are hoping next year we can all be in person again for 2021 Family Cafe and the Roundtable on Autism. But for now, we're doing it virtually, and we hope we can offer you resources and information. My husband and I live in Southwest Florida, and we have 3 adult sons. Our middle son, John, has autism. He is moderate. He also has intellectual disability and developmental delays. When he was younger, he received a lot of applied behavioral analysis, ABA therapy, and that was very good for him. Currently, he is manageable and happy, which is very good. He's young in his mind, but he can learn, and he does learn things and is motivated to please us. And I do have John here, and he will say a quick hello. John, would you say hello to everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Tell them it's nice to see them.
It's nice to see them.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. I'm going to excuse John now. Okay. You're excused.
Can I change?
Yeah, no, you're excused now. You can go inside. Thank you. Thank you very much. He's not going to sit for the whole Zoom meeting. John, quiet down. So thank you for letting me excuse him, and I appreciate that. He doesn't grasp this whole COVID crisis and the circumstances, but he's been very good about everything. All right, Cindy, I'm going to send this back to you, and thank you again for everybody for joining us.
Thank you, Maureen. That was very beautiful, and it was so wonderful to see John. We would like to take the opportunity now to introduce our attendees. Okay, we have a wonderful people. We're missing a couple of parents, but unfortunately they were not able to be here with us. But I'm going to give, I want you to introduce yourselves, speak a little bit of who you are, your child, and if you want to share a little bit about him or her, you're welcome to do. Anything that you share here with us is not only, it's helping us, but it's going to help all those who will be listening to our session. I'm going to give it to Sharina, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sharina Bennett. I'm a mother of 3. I'm here getting research information from my cousin. Her name is Tanisha Strong. She has a daughter that's transitioning from middle to high school that has autism. She's kind of high function.
Thank you, Sharina. Carolyn?
Hi, my name is Carolyn Jones. I'm a former social worker of Children's Medical Service. And first of all, I want to thank you, Cindy, so much for inviting me to be a part of this meeting. I have a beautiful grandson that has autism, well, in the spectrum of autism. His name is Humphrey Jones III. He's named after my husband. And I just wanted to introduce him to you because he's a part of the Family Cafe Youth Advisory Team. And he has attended many sessions, and I have to say it has really opened up some avenues for him. He was very shy, and now he's very energetic and open to say the things that are very least to say. I'm grateful. He's now working with Publix. He's also a part of the DREAM Act. He has came into this country at the age of 2 with his mom, and they struggled through the process of not being able to find the work that he needed because of the DREAM Act. And I'm just want to share that And my question also at the end should be that how do we help the young adults get jobs that have special needs? So that's me, and thank you so much again, Cindy.
Thank you, Carol. That was very, very nice, very touching. We're going to now introduce Cecilia.
Ok, mi nombre es Cecilia Simonet. Cuando yo tengo a Adrián a cargo mío, Adrián tenía 3 meses cuando lo recibí. A los 14 meses lo diagnosticaron con autismo y Adrián asistió a todas las terapias que su médico de cabecera le ha recomendado, pero en especial para mí, la más importante ha sido la terapia de comportamiento, que lo ayudó tanto a él como a mí, porque tuve que aprender a cómo poder lidiar con su autismo. Hoy en día Adrián tiene 15 años y lo estoy preparando, y él también, para que él sea un niño independiente. Gracias Family Café por hacer esta conferencia todos los años.
Okay, I'm going to translate what Cecilia said before I introduce Adrian. Cecilia shared that she received Adrian when he was 3 months old, and he was diagnosed at 14 months with autism. He started with all therapies, but the most important one became the behavior therapy, ABA. Through that behavior therapy, she was able to engage and follow those therapies at home, and helping him to be able to have communication as well. Now that he's 15, her goal is for him to be independent. And she wanted to thank Family Cafe for this opportunity and for having the conference every single year. Now I'm going to go ahead and introduce Adrian.
Hi, my name is Adrian. I'm 15 years old. I'm under the spectrum of autism. You may think that I'm normal and that I don't have autism, and I feel normal, but I do have autism. And one of the things that I had to go through before was bullying by peers, by classmates, and was peer pressured. And another thing I had to face to this day is that some family members still kind of discriminates me for my autism, thinking that I'm dumb, or they defend the people that are making me angry or kind of pulling me down. And thanks to my mom, who is my grandma, she had helped me. She has became there for me. She is like a mother to me. She has been there even at my worst. And thank you, Family Cafe, to every year do this conference. God bless.
Thank you, Adrian. That was very, very, very touching. I just wanted to address before I give it to Maureen, because she's going to talk a little bit about what has worked for her and John during this COVID situation. But before I do that, Adrian, I think that you're so brave, because at your age, bullying is a very big part in the school system.
Mm-hmm. You're muted.
Kids don't understand that, and they can be very, very cruel. But thank God, because there are advocates, and your grandmother is an exceptional advocate for you, that because of her and other parents, that they can speak up and say, I will not tolerate this, for my child. because my child has the same right to attend school like everybody else, okay, without the bullying situation. And today the schools have a lot of resources. But I just want to encourage every single parent that is listening to us. If that is happening, to your child, take the time to go to the schools. Take the time to look when they're having lunch. Take the time, to look from far. Because if you see that your child is having this kind of situation, speak up. There's always a social worker. There's always a representative for children with special needs in the schools. And we are all pulling that this does not happen anymore. Okay. So, and the other thing I wanted to address was what you said about the family. Um, it is so true, and I am so, I'm so glad that you really talked about a very deep feeling, because family is very important. If our family put us down because we have a diagnosis, it is very, very wrong. And I think that all of us, okay, this is for all of us, we should take the time sometimes not to feel bad about it, but to have the opportunity to educate. I believe that every single child that came to this world or will come with some kind of special needs, okay, we have an obligation as parents and caregivers to be able to educate everybody around our family and friends. If we educate, okay, they will become a part of you. Sometimes family and friends, they act the wrong way and say cruel things because they don't know what to say and they don't know how to act. But let us all make sure that we take time to educate our families and friends when it comes, to do with our children. So again, Adrian, thank you so much for that. So now we're going to go to Maureen, and she's going to talk about something that all of you can take and share as well. Okay, what has she's been doing with John that has helped, during this time? Maureen?
Thank you very much. I first want to say, Adrian, what you said was beautiful and from your heart. And I'm going to think about a lot of what you said. And Cindy, you are fantastic with how you welcome everybody and explain everything. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Okay, all of us, we all had to do shelter in place. We've all had to self-isolate. So Cindy asked me to make a list of some of the things I've been doing with John to keep him busy. And I did talk to other people too and got some ideas. And I'll tell you some of the things we've been doing. And obviously it's not a complete list. You may have other ideas. So John normally would attend 2-day programs, and he would also attend Special Olympics. And I get him out in the community and do things. Of course, none of this is happening right now. So I've made a list of things in no special order of some of the activities I've been doing with John. I have tried very hard to vary the days. Yes, people need routine, but it's also good to vary the activities and what you do each day and what time. Otherwise, the person would get very used to one way and then change would be harder. I also try to, stretch it out and create different things. So here's a list of some things that I've put together. Okay, in no special order. Crafts. You can do crafts, all different levels. You can get ideas online. You can buy craft kits. If you don't have that, and the person's not even good with scissors, you can even take colored paper, tear it into shapes, glue it on paper, and make a beautiful mosaic. So be creative. You can do crafts with things around the house. Reading. Now, John, for example, only reads about kindergarten and first grade level, but he does enjoy reading. And sometimes we read together or we take turns, and he reads himself. But I make sure that every book or story he reads, he does write down on a piece of paper and the date he's reading it. And I also have him draw the line on the unlined paper. That gets in that fine motor skills. We've actually been doing that for several years, but of course the list has gotten much larger over this period of time. Libraries. Each county is different, but if your library is doing drive-through where you can pre-order, take advantage of it if you wish. Don't forget libraries have DVDs and music CDs too. And I just want to add, when all of this is over, if you can, and if your individual does not have a library card, please get one. And you can hold it, but then they have a card with their name and they can learn to check out and choose. Cooking, baking. You can do simple things, even just washing off vegetables and fruits. John has a very limited diet due to his sensory issues, but for example, I taught him how to make grilled cheese. Toast 2 pieces of bread, put 2 slices of American cheese on it, and put it in the microwave for 20 seconds. And he's learned to make his own grilled cheese sandwich, which he can do himself. Good time to work on these cooking skills. Pool. If you have a pool, vary the times that the person goes into it. Morning, afternoon, evening, and nighttime. And change the days around so it kind of mixes it up. Speaking of nighttime, we have a beautiful sky. It's pretty clear. So you can go out at night, look at the stars, talk about the planets, and then use the internet to supplement that. But you can do that. Just go outside for a few minutes and talk about the stars or Earth or something like that. And you can look online. The other thing I do with John is I ask him questions, but I title it math questions, science question, whichever. I may ask him when we're driving in the car. I just do a pop question. If I do a math question, he will have one back for me. It can be as simple as where do penguins live or what is 5 + 5 equals. But it's a great way, and I've learned to title it by the subject matter. Also, there's a lot of things online, zoos, aquariums, museums, so many things. So we can look into websites and you can look at things and you can tour them. Recently, we looked at jellyfish and we talked about it. It was from an aquarium in Canada, and they had a whole thing on that. Another thing I've noticed is that my son is asking a lot more questions about certain things. So recently we lost our water, which happens sometimes when a water main pipe breaks in the nearby area. So he kept saying, how will it get fixed? He was very concerned, understandably. So I looked online. I found images of a broken water main pipe, not that one, but of one, and it being fixed. I then pointed to the particular pictures and I did a social, like a verbal social story about it. It made him feel better. In the morning, we had our water again. So you could discuss how something's being built or made, pull up the images and just do a verbal social story. Computer. There's endless things on the computer. PBS Kids, math games, there's videos and all sorts of things. I do time the time that John is on it. And also, we don't have any video devices in our home or any handheld video devices. So the only video games he does have access to are on the computer, and they're in the kitchen. I see it. But they're all educational computers, educational games. But there's other things too. Also, YouTube, great animal videos and fun to watch. And don't forget about board games. Not everything needs a battery. Memory, where you flip the cards over. Trouble, Candyland, and you can always modify all of these games. You can always stop them and return to them and put the board aside. Great skill on turn taking. Another thing that we always work on are self-care skills. I still have to groom him with shaving and all these other things. So we're trying to improve on that more because we're home more and we can do this at different times of the day. Again, varying the activities. So if there's a self-care skill that your individual needs to improve upon, this might be a good time to work on it. Now, teaching household jobs. We don't call them chores. We've been saying that they're jobs. And this is a good time to either teach or do teamwork, again, because everyone is home. Folding, sorting laundry. It could just be washcloths or towels to start with. Sweeping the lanai, feeding pets, separating trash and recyclables, collecting dishes, putting them in the sink, collecting the newspaper. All of these things are good jobs to do. And I notice when John does them, he's very happy. And I think because it gives him worth and it's part of the family. In addition, some jobs are difficult. For example, vacuuming doesn't work well with him because you really don't see the before and after. But I found what we do is teamwork. I vacuum and he moves small pieces of furniture and he moves the plug around. Again, we do something. So we're doing things in the house, we're doing jobs. Outing. Of course, this is very difficult because so many things are shut down and there's a lot of restrictions. But you can still go in a car, do the drive-through at the bank, do the drive-through at CVS, get gas. So when I go in the car with John, I explain we're doing errands and I tell him what we're going to do. But then I seem to forget where I'm going or I need directions. And he has to remind me where we're going and which directions we're going in. And therefore, he's helped me a lot on the errand and I always thank him afterwards. So there's a way you can work that in. Speaking of outings, I don't know about each of your areas. In our area, farmer markets have begun to open. So if there are outdoor areas that have fresh air blowing through, this is a great time to start going back into reintroducing back into the neighborhood. And you got the fresh air, and even introducing a mask if need be. And for driving, you can tour neighborhoods, go through neighborhoods, watch sunsets, talk about them, just get in the car and go for a drive. Jigsaw puzzles. Now, jigsaw puzzles I find are very good because there's a beginning and an end. It's very concrete, but we don't always have enough jigsaw puzzles. You can make your own. Use a cereal box. Take a cereal box cover or something else and cut it into many pieces as you want. The other thing we've been doing daily and at different times of the day, discussing the weather. And we've been using Doppler on the computer because then you get that geography in, you can look at the images, we look at the clouds, we look at the temperature. So we can do that a couple times during the day and you get a couple little lessons in there and it's all visual. Speaking of puzzles, dot to dot, word search. Now, you know, word search is great because it's so cheap, you can buy them at the Dollar Tree. In addition, dot to dot, there are dot to dots out there with 400 or 500 dots. You can get them in bookstores and craft stores. And that's good because if your individual is prone to OCD also with the autism, they will want to sit and finish the whole thing. And again, no battery required. You can sit anywhere and do that. And there's a feeling of an accomplishment. In many communities, there are walking trails, bike trails, nature trails. If you have access to them, good time to use them. We have found some bike and nature trails near us, and we found these. We didn't realize they were there before, with footprints in the cement for different animals. So that's been good to talk with about. And also people walk through and it's not too crowded and it's very pleasant. Maps, you can find a lot of maps online. They can be complicated, they can be simple, and you can discuss different global images or places if your individuals will sit through that. Music, play a variety of music during the day. John prefers piano, I noticed, but in the car we play different music and it's good. And you can also talk about the instrument, even pull up the image online later, drums, piano, violin, whatever. Speaking of crafts, if you so inclined and you want to start your holiday crafts, this is probably a great time to start your holiday crafts, although we haven't begun that yet. Computer keyboarding skills. Although my son can maneuver a keyboard to pull up a video game or a particular little video of Thomas the Train or Dr. Seuss, he's not that good at keyboarding words. So this was a good time to switch to that. I usually, if he gets a birthday gift, which has happened recently, I have him write the word thank you in a note and I write the person a thank you note also. Instead, I'm having him email. I pull up the email and I have him keyboard the email in. Now he's had to work on spacing, capitalizing, how to delete, how to move the paragraphs around. So we've been working much more in keyboarding. Fast food, again, another outing you can do in the car and you don't get out of the car, but great way to work in coinage. You can start it at home, keep coins in a bag in the car, and he or she can help you count out the money for the food. So they also learn you count out the money you pay and they can get the food. So there's a good lesson there on what money is used for. Tidying up. This is beyond household jobs. If you have a closet to clean or a garage to clean, perhaps that individual can fold all the t-shirts or move some of the boxes and help you. Again, that word teamwork. So there's a lot of things out there and you can think of other things. If you have access to boating, you can do boating, or cycling if you like to cycle, or all different things, whatever's in your community and what's out there. Be creative and see what's out there besides what's on the TV or something. Okay, I also want to talk about the basic hygiene and issues that have come up with COVID. For example, washing hands for 20 seconds. So we've been working on that to wash hands longer and more thoroughly. Just to let you know, I found a video online of a chameleon washing his hands at a sink. They're holding him up to the sink. So I showed it to John and I told John that the lizard had to wash his hands because that rule was everyone lived in the house had to wash their hands. He really enjoyed that image. So now when he washed his hands, he tells me like a lizard. So that's been putting a smile on his face. I've also found this very hard to explain, the whole COVID thing. So I told him we had to stay home to be healthy and there were bad germs called virus and they need to go away. So we must remain healthy. And that I also want to add, I've also told him that sunshine gives you vitamin D and vitamin D makes you healthy. So now when he goes in the pool or he's out in the sunshine, he announces to me that he has made vitamin D. He's very proud that he's made it with the sunshine, but it helps him to understand he has to stay healthy. I think also, and I have to do this more, we have to start practicing and working on wearing different masks and what will be comfortable for him. I've looked online, I found PSA public service announcements that have been very good for wearing masks and hand washing. So look online, explore, find the good images and show your individual. Also, we've spent so many years teaching John how to shake hands and how to do it so well. Now we have to unteach him because he can't do that any well. We can't shake hands anymore. So we're taking this time now under these circumstances to work on not shaking hands and how to wave to people. So this is a good time to work on it while we were isolated, because before we get out in public again, and if our individuals have learned to shake hands, we do have to unteach it. So I will leave you with this quick thing. So I had to explain to John when we started staying home from the programs that we were on spring break. And then the next week he asked, and he announced to me we were on another spring break. So we're having many spring breaks each and every week, but he does know now it will continue for a while. Thank you so much for listening to all these ideas. I'm sure you have other ideas too, but I hope some of these will work, and everyone stay healthy and stay safe. Thank you.
Maureen, that was wonderful. It really shows that you are such an amazing mom. I mean, this is incredible. I hope that people who will listen would take some of these examples, because sometimes, you know, it's just so much going on in our lives that we don't take the time that even simple things can work, you know, with our family. Thank you, you know, for that. I think one of my, one of the best thing that you said for me was the Aaron, and then, you know, having him, you know, give you directions. I thought that was like so cute. um, I know that, you know, next year hopefully we'll be at the family cafe, all of us together, and I really encourage you to meet John and Adrian, because they're really phenomenal. I mean, John, you just want to like hug him all the time because he's just so cute, and Adrian is just a book of wisdom. And uh, having, you know, said that, Maureen is also going to share with all of you a folder that is called Maureen's top 10 list that she made herself. And I'm going to translate in Spanish a little bit, but we're happy to share with you an informational folder that she has done, okay? And it's going to be downloaded into the Family Cafe link. For anybody that wants to download that folder, it has so many resources, and as well as state resources and recreational programs for all ages. So take the time to familiarize yourself with the ones that you would like to join, and then take the time to reach out, you know, to get started. Um, Nos complace compartir con ustedes, okay, una carpeta informativa en un formato descargable. Esta carpeta tiene recursos estatales, programas recreativos para todas las edades, eh, familiares, perdona, no puedo decir muy bien, con los que le gusta. Tomen el tiempo para comunicarse y comenzar. Este paquete tiene muchos, pero muchos, tú sabes, recursos que es para todas las edades. Y va a estar en el link de Family Café para que ustedes lo puedan hacer copia y ver cuáles son los que ustedes quisieran llamar para coger la información. Así que diciendo eso, voy a dejar que Maureen, ella diga todo lo que viene en la carpeta, y más adelante también puedo hablar con ustedes un poco independiente de todo lo que Maureen compartió, de lo que ella hace con John durante este periodo que hemos estado con el virus, de lo que es el COVID virus. Y ella tiene muchos ejemplos, muchas actividades que está haciendo con John, y yo creo que eso también puede ayudar mucho a las personas que en estos momentos están buscando alguna ayuda para tener entretenimiento en la casa. Y bueno, más ya cuando terminemos esto, ustedes pueden contactarme y yo puedo, tú sabes, decirle todas las actividades que ella está haciendo con John. Así que en este momento le voy a dar otra vez el micrófono a Maureen para que ella explique qué es lo que viene en esta carpeta que es tan informativa. Okay, Maureen, you can go ahead and start with read your top 10 list.
All right, and I'll go through quickly the other inserts in the folder. All right, everybody, if you come to the round table, we make sure that every family leaves with a folder. We want them to walk away with more information than when they first walked in, so that the round table helped to give them more resources. So these are the papers that she's talking about to be posted. So I'm going to summarize them very quickly. Okay, this is Maureen's top 10 list. Several years ago, I did a presentation concerning techniques we did with John, and I handed this out, and we've been using this ever since. So I'm going to go over the top 10 one by one very quickly. And again, they are online. So number 1, educate yourself about autism and utilize all available resources. Don't wait for other people to get information to you. Use your resources in your area. Online, networking, people, educators, libraries. Learn everything you can from good, reliable resources. Number 2, be consistent with all family members and choice of therapy. Whatever therapy your family chooses to use or therapies, be consistent in the household. That's very important, especially for a youngster, a very small child getting early intervention, that they know what is expected of them as they're going through their therapy. So make sure everyone is trained and is on the same page. Number 3, recognize grief and the loss of potential and move forward. It was a very difficult time when we learned about John in 1994, and we recognized the disability and how difficult this would be and the loss of potential. We did grieve terribly, but we had to go forward. It is necessary to grieve. You must recognize that and then move forward. Try not to get stuck in the grief. We found the more we learned about autism and the more tools and information and resources, it helped us go and move forward. So it is a very helpful thing to educate yourself about it and learn more. Number 4, network with other families and learn from their advice and experiences. Absolutely. And that includes families with older kids. We learned a lot from people whose children were a little older than John. We observed their children. We asked questions. They were able to tell us things that worked for them. John, go ahead. I'm very sorry. Okay, John. I apologize. My son wanted to tell me something. He didn't understand to wait. I apologize. Okay, going back, it does help tremendously to meet other families and to learn from their choices that they made. And we did. You are your child's best advocate. Be proactive and learn the IEP process. Don't just be a shadow at the IEP. Be part of the IEP. Bring your notes in. Bring your information in. I always used to make a list of strengths that John had, and I would pass them out to everyone at the IEP in the beginning, because there's a lot of, you focus on a lot of the difficulties the child had, but also it's good to mention the strengths. I think the staff at the school would appreciate that. And listen to some of the educators. You are your child's best advocate, but often educators have been around a lot of children and they've learned a lot of things. So everyone has something to bring to the table. Next, number 6, search and create inclusive community opportunities for your child. Okay, now we're under COVID, a little hard right now, but think of things you can do, whether it is to go to a farmer's market or go out in the community or shop at Publix or a grocery store, or things, the library. Create your own inclusive opportunities if you can. See what organizations would work. Again, we have large, middle, rural counties in Florida, so you have to see what's available in your area. And I will do a shout out later about the how wonderful Special Olympics is and has been for John. Okay, number 7, introduce new skills and build on present levels, but do it in small upward steps. Do everything if you can and break it into small components. This is going back to ABA, and teach each step. And we found it takes a long time, but over the years, John could master steps faster and faster. And in the end, we have someone that has learned a lot under his circumstances and continues to learn with this method. So just break every component into small steps and you'll find the child will be able to learn it better. Short-term and long-term memory don't always connect, so you just have to review till it gets there. Number 8, this is a hard one. Try to balance life with family, schools, providers, friends, and autism. Often in the case, the autism becomes the center of the family, understandably. And it's really hard, especially for the siblings, for the marriage, for the family, for everything. Try very hard to balance it. It isn't easy, but try to do it and don't forget to do it if you can. Number 9, before when Cindy mentioned, I wanted to bring this up. She actually mentioned this already. When I would take John out in public when he was younger, he had a lot of behavioral issues. Don't kid yourself. I decided to view him as an ambassador of autism and to educate others. This is how it was when I took him out. I actually used to bring and carry brochures with me about autism. If people made comments to me, I would hand them the brochures and tell them they needed to be educated on autism. But that's how people learned about autism. And I took John out, and over years, people saw him improve. And he learned to meet people. But so I viewed him as sort of a face behind autism. And again, sometimes the more involved people with autism aren't always out in the public, and it's important for people to know about them also. Number 10, special events. If you are involved in a walk for autism or some sort of activity that relates to autism, what I've done with John is I tell him we're celebrating autism. We're celebrating all his hard work on everything he learns and all the things that he does. And then I've also told him that all the people there who have autism are like him, and they try very hard to do better, and they have to try extra hard. So we put a positive spin on it, and we talk about celebrating. So those are my top 10 lists, and that's online. Okay, real quick, the other stuff in the folder, and I'll go through this quickly. Very important examples of people first language. You wouldn't say the eyeglass lady, you might say the lady wearing eyeglasses, just like we would say the boy or girl with autism. So that's important to learn. I've also learned, this was a good one, I used to copy and I used to Xerox it and give it to each person at the beginning of the IEP to share with everyone. Next, in no special order, is a list, and this may be a little bit old, so there's probably other things to add on. Things that Autism Speaks has on their website, toolkits and videos and all sorts of things. I didn't have access to this information. It didn't exist back in '94. In fact, we didn't have access to the internet. Use these tools and look up things. You can do it right from your home. And on that note, Autism Society of America, which we've been a member of since '94, was the first organization out there. It was the one that helped to get autism labeled as a disability. And their website has a lot of good information too. And both websites have good research newsletters too. Okay, so I put this together also a couple of years ago, and this may be changing now because with everything with COVID and the economy, who knows what's going to get cut or changed. But these are different agencies and organizations that I thought might be good to look up, and I put them all on one list. Very, very important. If you have not done so, please contact Agency for Persons with Disabilities. Please get your child to be registered for the Medicaid waiver and see if your child qualifies. There is a very long, very, very long list for that funding. When your child graduates from school, it was like they fall off a cliff, and services later will require payment. You will be very glad if you've started on the Medicaid waiver services early on. Please contact APD and start the paperwork on that, and that's on this list. Special Olympics. Okay, this is a flyer I put together, okay, a couple of years ago. This is not an official flyer from Special Olympics. Remember, this is in the folder to encourage parents to look at Special Olympics in their area. Special Olympics has been wonderful for John. Now, right now it's on hold everywhere for obvious reasons. And every county is different. They offer different sports, but it has been great for John. There's no charge. And there's about 10 different sports in our area. The sports are seasonal, so it's not a year-long commitment. I've explained to John, we go to see your friends at Special Olympics because obviously he's always going to need help with socializing. But it isn't just trophy and ribbon and such. It's all the other skills he's learned from Special Olympics. Practicing to make better, learning to take a turn and waiting online, getting directions from somebody else. Try again. These are a lot of skills he's learned with Special Olympics. And And it's just been wonderful. And it's also interesting meeting the other individuals there, and it's all different age brackets. Okay, the next flyer, again, no special order, is a group called Disability Scoop. I found them online. They do charge now for their information, but you get, I think, about 2 or 3 free articles a month. So you could choose just to keep count of your free articles, or you could choose to join. I've also done where I've looked up in their headline, in their newsletter, before I go into the article, and then I will Google that headline and similar, and sometimes I find another periodical of the same story. But you may want to look that up. And this covers all different topics and disabilities and different disabilities. I've learned a lot reading these articles. The next one, if you have not done so, please contact CARD, Center for Autism and Related Disabilities. There are several CARD sites around Florida at the state university systems. They have a lot of good resources. They tend to know each of their areas well. They do not provide services in terms of therapy. Well, they will provide information and training, and they will help school-based, go in sometimes if they're invited to offer trainings too. And I think they're offering more online now because of the circumstances with COVID. Please contact CARD and perhaps get registered and get on their email. They do have brochures. This is an older brochure. They have newer ones, but this is the one we have. And it's a little bit older because it has the word spectrum in it, but it does go through the different parts of autism. And I just want to encourage people to contact CARD. That is a good free resource that we do have in Florida. Don't not use it. The last resource, and again, this is just an example. This is 2 flyers I put on one. The first one is Buddy Break, Nathaniel's Hope, which is on the other list. They are around the state of Florida. They provide respite for people once a month, I believe, at churches for children, and then the families can do other activities. You have to look into them in your area. And also we do have different camps around Florida. And I realize our children have a lot of special needs. One in particular, Dreams Are Free in Bradenton. I've had John in there once, and I have a friend that's utilized them a lot. But there's different camps, and you have to explore what works. Again, opportunities out there. Again, all of this is on pause now because of COVID and the isolation issue, but these are good resources. Very, very important. Check out your resources. Keep exploring. Find reliable resources. I want to add one more thing about Special Olympics. Special Olympics, you have to be involved. It's not a drop-off program. You're going to meet other proactive parents. Great way to share information also by being involved in Special Olympics. I wanted to give that extra plug. I want to thank all of you. We hope you can get some good help with all these resources. And thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Maureen. That was very insightful. Thank you so much. We really hope that you would take notice of all this information. And like I said in the beginning, this is in the Family Cafe link that you can download all this information. We also want to tell you to share the information. Okay, not just keep it, but share the information, because there's a lot of parents out there that they need to know what activities or what kind of resources or where they can contact for for what Maureen was explaining. And it's just so much. That folder, I think, is a wealth of information. And before we do the closing, I just wanted to say in Spanish, Maureen acaba de presentar lo que estábamos hablando, la carpeta llena de recursos. Queremos que todos ustedes sepan que la carpeta está en el link de Family Café. Ustedes pueden sacar copia de lo que les gusten, pero como habíamos dicho antes, pueden sacar, tú sabes, las copias y ver qué es lo que a ustedes les gustaría hacer, qué es lo que les gustaría aprender, qué información está afuera. ...2021 Family Cafe Conference. Look for our session and come and join us. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to have lots of fun. Not only that, but the main thing is that you are going to make new and the youth and young adults. That way, when you come in, you can sit where your needs are. Otherwise, we will never finish it. We have just one roundtable with everyone. We share stories, we share information. Sometimes it becomes very emotional because when you have to share about your child and the struggles that you're going through, it is not easy. But we want to also, encourage you that Marine's information and my information is going to be in the book that you already received. And we're there. You can reach us by email. You can reach us by, calling us. Anything that you might need in forms of support or information, please feel free, to reach out, to us. Also, our session, I think is so welcoming because we do have entertainment for the kids. We want to make it like a family session, and we have snacks. And then at the end of the session, we have an exciting raffle. So at the end, everybody leaves with a folder, with toys, with, if you want, something from the raffle. But the most valuable thing is that we, make new friends. Quería, tú sabes, decirle a todo el mundo que ojalá ustedes puedan estar con nosotros el 2021 en la conferencia de Family Café, que vengan y estén en nuestra sesión. Nuestra sesión es súper entretenida. Hacemos 3 mesas para poder hablar con todos y que todo el mundo pueda tener la oportunidad de compartir su historia. Tenemos una mesa donde tenemos lo que se llama los niños más pequeños, que es como de infante a 6 años. Después tenemos la mesa de 7 a 12 años. Y después tenemos los adultos, que es de 13 años para arriba. Es una sesión que ustedes van a salir ahí no solamente con los recursos, pero también tenemos siempre entretenimiento para los niños, tenemos para darle los snacks y tenemos una rifa cuando la sesión ya se está acabando. Y así que lo más importante que ustedes sacan de todo esto es que vienen como a estar como una familia y a hacer nuevas amistades. Así que, por favor, vengan a estar con nosotros. Pueden conocer a Marie personalmente, a John, tú sabes, a mí. Pueden, tú sabes, ver a Carolyn, que ha estado con nosotros, a Sharina, a Adrian, a Cecilia. Como había dicho antes, no, nos faltaron 2 padres, pero bueno, hemos hecho lo mejor para ustedes porque queremos traerle lo más positivo y como dije en el principio, nunca se den por vencido. Esta es un camino fuerte, pero les aseguro que traerá mucho, pero muchas cosas, tú sabes, buenas también. Así que bueno, diciendo eso, voy para despedirme y decir a ver si ya Maureen o alguien de los padres quiere decir algo. Okay, so we are in our time to say bye. I wanted to ask Caroline, Maureen, Adrian, Cecilia, if you have any last words that you would like to share with the audience.
I want to add, thank you so much. I just want to add quickly, Carolyn did ask about employment, and I want to touch on that briefly because she brought it up. Besides calling vocational rehab, in my case, I actually called them personally. I didn't wait for the schools to do it, and I made a list of what John could do, but ultimately he was dismissed. But you could also, I don't think I have it on the list, you might want to contact your Project 10 and look this up online, your interagency council. Most counties have it, and most counties now have a yearly resource fair that's just inside the county. Call your ESC department and find out when the Project 10 Interagency Council will be having their resource fair now, of course, next year. I also do know some parents that literally walked their family member into a store and talked to the people and helped to get them employment firsthand. They didn't even go through an agency. So it's something to think about. Find an employer or a business that is extra friendly and a little patient with people with special needs, and you may find they want to work with you. This may, of course, with budget cuts and changes this year, employment, the economy is very different. But I just wanted to throw that out. Thank you so much, because I wanted Carolyn to have an answer before she left. Thank you very much for all of you joining us. I hope everyone can join us next year. Cindy, you've done a marvelous job just running and putting this all together. Thank you so much for bringing everyone together. And we hope that everyone watching got a little bit something out of this. And we wish everyone to be safe and healthy. And good luck with everything with your children and your families. Thank you. Gracias.
Carolyn, oh, that's beautiful. Carolyn.
Yes, I want to thank you for that information. I'm sure that that would be very useful, because remember, the parent is their best advocate. And I know that firsthand, because my grandson, oh my God, his mother, she had to do that. She had to go from Publix to Publix to Publix until finally the one that hired him was the one that he used to go to and drink coffee at. And they got to know him and knew that he was a really nice kid. And so it gave him that opportunity to work with them. And he's been there for 3 years now. So he's done very well. And I'm very proud of him.
Thank you,
So
Carolyn.
thank you so much.
Okay.
And I want to say, Cindy, what a great job. This has been very enlightening to me. And I know that there is a lot that they can take with them, especially all the wonderful things Maureen said. Thank you again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, we have come, to our end of our session. So everyone, thank you for joining us. So we'll see you next year, and love you, everyone. Thank you, Carolyn. Like I said, Carolyn, Maureen, John, Adrian, Cecilia. Thank everyone. We love you and hope to see you guys next year. Bye.
All right, thanks very much to Cindy and Maureen and all of the panelists they got together for that Autism Roundtable. I think there was some really good information in there.
Sure was. We really appreciate it. We look forward to seeing everybody at 2 o'clock for the Cerebral Palsy Roundtable.
Yeah, and
also,
that should be pretty entertaining. We have Kathy Seacrest leading that one. She's a friend of ours who always volunteers at the in-person conference. So we're looking forward to that, and she will be here live, so we'll be able to do some real-time Q&A in that session. So that'll be,
yes,
engaging as well. All right, well, with that, we're going to say goodbye for now. And once again, don't forget, we will be back here at 2 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon. So we will see you then.
See you at 2.